Nanalo ng Family Feud ng Team Kailan Gaprap ng 200,000 pesos.
Family Feud, 5:40 p.m.
Welcome to my episode that is called
Nagmamano pa.
That's okay.
DW News, and these are our top stories. Qatar's prime minister has said Israel needs to be punished after an Israeli strike targeted Hamas leaders in Doha last week. His comments come ahead of an emergency summit of Arab and Muslim countries to discuss how the region will respond to Israel's unexpected attack. Supporters of Turkey's biggest opposition party, the CHP, have rallied in the capital Ankara ahead of a crucial judicial ruling. The court is due to decide on Monday whether to strip Özgür Özel of his position as head of the centrist party. Hundreds of members have been jailed as part of a government crackdown. Donald Trump has threatened to federalize Washington, D.C.'s government after its mayor refused to cooperate with the president's immigration crackdown. In a social media post, Trump said he would declare a national emergency and seize control of the city if necessary. It's the latest escalation in what he calls a crime-fighting effort in the city. This is DW News from Berlin. You'll find much more on our website at dw.com.
News briefing, Global, at 6:02 p.m. today.
Today, the Charlie Kirk shooting suspect is not cooperating with authorities. The US and China close in on a TikTok deal. How AI chatbots can be manipulated to create phishing scams targeting the elderly. And all the big winners from the Emmys. It's Monday, September 15th. This is Reuters World News, bringing you everything you need to know from the front lines in 10 minutes, 7 days a week. I'm Tara Oakes in Liverpool.
Tara Oakes in Liverpool.
The man arrested in the killing of right-wing activist Charlie Kirk is not cooperating with authorities. That's according to Utah Governor Spencer Cox, who says investigators are working to establish a motive for the shooting by talking to his friends and family. 22-year-old Tyler Robinson will be formally charged on Tuesday. Now to Madrid, where delegations from the US and China are on day 2 of talks. It's a fourth attempt in as many months to use a European backdrop to hash out their differences over trade. No indication of a breakthrough on tariffs. But another T-word is also on the agenda.
We're negotiating TikTok right now. We may let it die, or we may, I don't know, it depends. Up to China. It doesn't matter too much. I'd like to do it for the kids that like.
David Lauder is in Madrid and breaks down TikTok and tariffs for us.
This is the fourth meeting that we've had between essentially Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and the Chinese Vice Premier He Lifeng. And most of that has been about trying to unstick this kind of death spiral of trade between the two economies and get it on some kind of an even keel. So now where are we? We're in a place where maybe they can start to look at some of the more difficult questions, which is Chinese excess manufacturing capacity, which is really starting to threaten the Chinese economy. The U.S. tech export controls, there's a lot of emphasis here also on maybe trying to nail down arrangements for a meeting between President Xi and President Trump. What we're facing is a Wednesday deadline for TikTok to sell its U.S. assets or be shut down. I think a lot of observers are expecting that to be extended another time. So that's sort of one of the main deliverables out of this meeting.
And while those talks go on, China says it'll continue an investigation into US chip giant Nvidia after preliminary findings showed it had violated the country's anti-monopoly law. Another meeting that markets will be watching closely this week is the Fed's rate-setting decision. A quarter-point cut is seen as a sure thing. We're just not sure yet who exactly will be voting. Carmel Crimmins explains.
The Fed is at the center of an unprecedented challenge to its leadership. President Trump wants a U.S. appeals court to let him fire Fed Governor Lisa Cook over allegations of mortgage fraud before this week's interest rate meeting. And the Senate is expected to vote today to appoint Trump advisor Stephen Miron to a separate vacancy on the board. Whatever the outcome of those events, they're not expected to change the result of the rate-setting meeting. But it could be the start of Trump putting his stamp on the central bank. One interesting development did emerge over the weekend in the Lisa Cook case. A bank document reviewed by Reuters appears to contradict the Trump administration's mortgage fraud allegations. A loan estimate for an Atlanta home purchased by Cook shows she declared the property as a vacation home and not her primary residence. The Trump administration has accused Cook of passing off the property as her main residence for financial gain.
The strength of the Israeli-American alliance, it's as strong and as durable as the stones of the Western Wall that we just touched.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu hosting U.S. Secretary to test a selection of emails on elderly volunteers who agreed to participate in a study of email behaviours. No money, of course, was taken from any of the participants. Investigative reporter Steve Stecklow explains.
These AI chatbots don't have really great safeguards to protect against wrongdoing. You try to do prompts to the AI chatbots. Now, often they would say, oh, I couldn't possibly do that. That would be illegal or unethical. So then I'd say, I'm a researcher studying phishing. And then I would repeat the exact same prompt. And then it would produce these scam emails. Now, they would often say on them, this is for research purposes only, don't use this in a real-life situation.
When testing the phishing emails on 108 senior citizens, the researchers found that about 11% clicked on those links. The FBI says that phishing is the #1 reported cybercrime in the US. Data shows that Americans 60 and over lost nearly $5 billion to online fraud last year. And Steve says scammers are tuned into AI and already using it.
We interviewed 3 people who've worked in these notorious scam compounds in Southeast Asia. All 3 of the people told us that they use ChatGPT all the time. And one of them had said it basically had revolutionized their work scamming people.
The team reached out to ChatGPT, Meta AI, Claude, Gemini, DeepSeek, and Grok for comment. DeepSeek and xAI's Grok did not respond to questions.
When we do a story and name a company, we give them a chance to respond. 4 of them responded. Only they said, look, we have safeguards in place. This is a difficult industry-wide problem, and we investigate cases where we believe they were going to retrain Gemini. Make it less likely for them to do that, but they wouldn't go into any deep.
Most nominations. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert was celebrated as Best Talk Series for the first time in its decade-long run. CBS, the network that broadcast the Emmys, announced earlier this year it was cancelling the show for financial reasons, a decision that sparked outcry. A big night for the Brits too, as Adolescence, a dark Netflix story about a teen accused of murder, received the Best Limited Series honour. Its 15-year-old star, Owen Cooper, was named Best Supporting Actor in a limited series, becoming the youngest winner in that category.
Yeah, it means so much to me. It means so much to me, my family, the people back home.
And with so much award-winning TV around, the key question: are you a binger or an old-fashioned once-a-weeker? Stars, including Gary Oldman and Rob Delaney, were divided on the red carpet.
I like binging. Like mannerisms and copy them. Yeah, it's great when they drop a show and then and you get all
same stuff.
6, 7, 8 episodes. Yeah.
No, once a week, do it the old-fashioned way. Yeah, don't make... And because then you have to make each episode so good that people can't help but tune in next week.
For our recommended read today, we're taking you to Nepal, and a Reuters exclusive about how the young activists who toppled the government are now picking new leaders. You can read the story by clicking on the link in the pod description. For more on any of the stories from today, check out Reuters.com or the Reuters app. Don't forget to follow us on your favourite podcast player, and if you're listening on a smart speaker, just ask for the latest news from Reuters, 7 days a week. We'll be back tomorrow with our daily headline show.
That's it for your news updates. To see more stories, open Google News.